Hey, what's up, guys? What's going on? This is Daniel with Fantasy Boom. Welcome to our video for the start of week 4, Thursday night football between the Minnesota Vikings and the Los Angeles Rams. Before we get started, don't forget to smash that like button and hit that red subscribe button. Subscribe to us. It really actually helps us out, and you'll be notified every time we put out content, which is important because you want to get on some of these numbers before they change. Anyone who's new to this channel, this is Predict Picks, and instead of rostering 8 or 9 guys on Draft Kings or FanDuel and trying to stay under a $50,000 salary cap, what you have to do is project whether guys like Kirk Cousins is going to go over or under 19 DraftKings points, or will Brandon Cooks score more than or less than 15 DraftKings points. That's it. The scoring is just like DraftKings in regards to how they calculate it. The only difference is there's no 3-point bonuses for 300 passing yards, 100 yards receiving, or 100 yards rushing. That's it. Much easier way to play fantasy. And so let's get right into it. So firstly, this game is probably going to be one of the best Thursday night games we see all season. 2 teams that are predicted to be playing come playoff times, and actually 2 teams that are expected to, make it to the Super Bowl. So this is going to be a really good game tonight. Right now, Vegas has this game the favoring the Los Angeles Rams. The over-under is 47. So the implied total is roughly the Rams 27, Minnesota Vikings 20. So there should be a decent amount of scoring in this game. So I like seeing things like that. We'll get right into it. I'm only going to touch on the offensive players in this game. I'm not going to touch on the defensive players, for what should be obvious reasons. Let's get started. First is Kirk Cousins. Now, for those of you who are living under a rock, this past Sunday, you saw what was probably one of the upsets of the year. The Vikings lost at home to the lowly Buffalo Bills in what was probably the most embarrassing thing that could have happened to them as a franchise. So I expect them to come out today, not just firing, but to right the ship, because they couldn't afford that loss. And now they've essentially got to continue to win out to keep their positioning in the playoffs. I like them to come into this game and actually battle and force the Rams to stay in the game. On the Rams side, they are coming into this game essentially with 3 fairly easy victories in a row. Their defense is good, and their offense is looking pretty unstoppable. It's pretty amazing to watch a team that's put it all together all across the board. We got some key injuries in this game. For the Rams, you got Aqib Talib. He's on IR, so he's going to be gone for at least 9 weeks. And then you got Marcus Peters, who injured himself on Sunday as well. I'm counting on him not playing, but you never know. Those are their top corners. So if they're missing, then it obviously opens up room for the Vikings receivers, and we're going to touch on that in a little bit. On the Viking side of the ball, we got Daniel Hunter. He's not playing due to some personal issues. And I think another one of their defensive line guys are out. So their pass rush is going to be pretty weak today. So with that being said, now let's start with Kirk Cousins. So he's here. He's projected at 19. And I expect this ship to get righted. Their running game isn't reliable. And Cook, I don't know if he's going to be playing tonight. Not sure. You know what? Let's look that up right now, because that's going to be important to how the game plan probably goes. Dalvin. Vikings are optimistic. Will play Thursday night. Cook appeared on track getting ready in limited sessions on Tuesday, Wednesday. Caution the Vikings will still put Cook through their paces in pregame warm-ups to make sure, but it looks like he'll be active. Going up against a soft run defense and unlikely to be scripted out of the game because of passing uses. Okay, so if Cook is going to be playing, that's going to be good, because now the Rams won't be able to cheat and play. Instead, force them to pass the ball. So now they have to play it fair. So Cousins is going to be slinging the ball this Sunday. We know he loves throwing the ball. He's taken a lot of attempts, in the first 3 weeks of the season. Last game, I'm just going to throw that out fantasy wise. just because of how weird that was. But for Cousins going forward, I expect him to be very aggressive in this game, looking for his spots, looking for his guys. The Rams front four is pretty fearsome, and they're getting after the quarterback. Cousins is going to have to get the ball out of his hands quickly, and as a result of that, there's going to be two guys here that I'm going to touch on that are going to benefit from that the most. So Kirk Cousins, I'm leaning Kirk Cousins over. It's a slight lean. This is probably a 2-star play, but I want to go Kirk Cousins over 19. We got Brandon Cooks, the number one receiver for the Los Angeles Rams. He's been having a good year. He's getting the targets, but this game he's going to be shadowed, and he's going to be shadowed by um, not Trey Waynes. Let's see, I can't think of his name. Xavier Rhodes. There we go. And Xavier Rhodes is fairly good. He's pretty good. If you look here, Cooks is getting the targets. Get 8 targets, 9 targets, 8 targets. But going up against Xavier Rhodes, I don't like this matchup for him. Cooks is a smaller receiver than Rhodes is, and although Cooks is fast, so is Rhodes, and Rhodes is more physical. So I expect Cook to get phased out of this game, in my opinion. And I would lean. This projection number is right around where he's been for the season. I'd lean under, just because I do respect Rhodes and I do respect the kind of defense he plays, and I expect him to bring his A game today. So I'm going to lean Brandon Cooks under 15. Then we got Jared Goff. Jared Goff had a really masterful game last game. Dude threw for over 300 yards. I mean, he was killing it. He was killing it, and he looked so calm and in control the entire time. This Minnesota defense is weakened because of some of their injuries on their front line, and I expect Goff to take advantage of that. I like him to go over. He has so many weapons to choose from, and because of because of how good he is, the Vikings can't even try to cheat. They have to play straight up, and I like Goff to take control of that and to do just enough to get his team not just a victory, but to get over this 18-point projection for himself. And then Todd Gurley, his projection's at 21 points. Let's be real. This guy is probably one of the top 2 backs in football this year. That's not including Le'Veon Bell, who's not even playing right now. But at a 21-point projection, I think this is really low. If you go and look at, his stats on the season and just take a one look at this, you can see that he hasn't even come close to going under that. 27 points, 32 points, and 29 points so far for the season. And with Todd Gurley, we know that his usage is asinine. He touches the ball a lot. That's when he's rushing or in the passing game. It doesn't really matter. And if you look at this game, they've had 3 blowouts, and they've taken their foot off the gas in each game, and he still have put up decent numbers in these games. So that's probably one of my easiest plays on the board. Todd Gurley over 21. I'm not even really going to think twice about that one. Next is Stephon Diggs. He is their deep threat, stretches the field, and when Kirk Cousins has time to find him, he's gonna find him. But the problem is in this game, I think the Rams, their front four is good. I think they're going to be putting a lot of pressure on him, and as a result, he won't be able to have the time to find Diggs down the field. So that's the one problem I see, and because of that, I'm leaning Stephon Diggs under. Now, Cooper Kupp, he is, again, I think he's the second most targeted person in the wide receivers corps. He is also leading the team in red zone targets, and at only 13 points, I think he actually goes over this number. He has a matchup in the slot, and the Viking slot receiver isn't very good at all. So, he should be fine in regards to, facing some of these guys. But because of his sheer opportunity touches that he has coming in the red zone, his touchdown expectation is fairly high, almost as high as Todd Gurley's. So I actually like Cooper Kupp to go over his 13-point projection. I think that's a tad too low. I like Cooper Kupp. And then my next favorite player on the slate is Adam Thielen. At only 17 points, you have to understand this guy and his usage. He's playing in the slot, and Kirk Cousins loves Thielen. That's his security blanket. Thielen is constantly running routes across the middle of the field, and because I think Kirk Cousins is going to be under under attack in this game, he's not going to have a lot of time to go down the field. He's going to have to hit those short routes, and that's going to be Thielen. Now, what I want you guys to see is this. We're going to go Thielen and look at his targets. 12 targets, 13 targets, 19 targets. Just the sheer targets alone, his floor is really, really good. His floor is good. He had one touchdown this game, 12 catches for 131 yards. In this game, he scored 28 points. He didn't even score a touchdown. He had 28 points, 14 catches, 105 yards. The guy's target floor is unbelievable, and he's going to get the targets. He's very reliable. He catches the ball. I love Thielen to go over this 17 points today and be the security blanket necessary for Kirk Cousins. And then we've got one more guy here. Two more guys. Okay, Kyle Rudolph is the next one. He's only projected at 9, but after week 1, his targets normalized. He started getting targeted again in this game, and the Los Angeles Rams actually rank in the bottom third of the NFL against opposing tight ends. Add in the fact that since I expect Kirk Cousins to be on the siege all day, he needs to dump it off right away. You got Thielen and you got Rudolph. Those are the two guys I think you're going to be expecting to get all the catches. Just with those short routes right around the middle of the field. So I like Kyle Rudolph to go over his 9-point projection here. And then we've got Robert Woods at a 14-point projection. He is leads the team in targets in the end zone. He gets a lot of targets, and we're going to come back here and look at his targets that he gets. 9 targets here, 11 targets here. He finally had this breakout game in this spot here, and I knew that was coming. What people don't really see is that he just missed a touchdown catch in this game, and Goff overthrew him in this game. If he would have had those touchdown catches in this game, this total would have been up around 15. This would have been around 23. So, if you're not watching, you wouldn't have noticed that. Robert Woods is he's had a revitalization in his career in this LA offense, and good for him. But his target floor is safe. I like him to go over his total of 14. He gets a lot of red zone targets as well. This guy also has a size advantage in his matchup, and because Goff targets him so much, I think he's just a safe play in regards to go over just because of the sheer usage volume that he gets. I like Robert Woods to go over. And kind of a honorable mention. There we go. Dan Bailey and Sam Ficken, 2 kickers. I think they have the potential to go over, especially Dan Bailey. If the Vikings can't get it into the end zone, they should be able to move the ball enough to get down there. But if they can't finish the job, Bailey's going to be kicking his behind off all day, and he's one of the most accurate kickers in the history of the NFL. So that's what I got for now. My 3 favorite plays on the slate: Todd Gurley, Jared Goff, Kyle Rudolph, and Robert Woods. So if you don't have an account with Predict Picks, it's super easy to get started. You go to predictpicks.com. As you can see here, they are still in private beta mode. They won't be soon. They're going to be out of beta mode, and there'll be full-scale launch. But they're in private beta mode for the time being, which means if you want access, you have to be invited to play. So click here where it says I was invited by a friend. You're going to put in your information, first name, last name. You're going to put in your email address. You're going to put in your date of birth, and the invite code from your friend that you need to play. It's going to be 01283. Password twice. Yes, you got to be 18 years old to play, and then hit the sign up button. On the next page, you're going to have to verify your phone number so that they know you are a real person. And after that, you drop to the big board where you make all your plays. So as you can see here, you got a chance to win $25 with a free pick 2, and it's on them, which I think that's pretty cool that they give you a chance to win $25 right away so that you can see how to play the game, and you could start off with a bankroll on their dime. So once you get in here, you pick whatever 2 guys you like. So let's say in this case, we're going to pick Todd Gurley and Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen also was one of my favorite plays. I missed him the first time around. So these 2 guys, so you make your picks, hit this green button down here that says go. And then here is when you choose, over or under. So we're going to go Todd Gurley over, and then Adam Thielen over. For you, it's going to automatically be filled in. It's going to say free. and the amount to win is going to say $25. So it won't say zero. For you, this is what it's going to say, $25. So it'll say free here to win $25. At that point, you hit confirm your entry, and then you're all set to go, and your bet is active. And then you sit back and you watch and root for your guys. So that's how you play. It's super easy to play. For NFL, generally on Sundays, they've got 3 sets of slates on up for the noon games, the afternoon games, and then the night games. And then they got different sports up here. So they got some college football for later on tonight. They got soccer. They got MLB, of course, because that's still going on. They got the Ryder Cup that's starting. And then NBA is going to be here before we know it. So this is a nice way to supplement your Draft Kings and FanDuel. For those who just want a nice, simple way to play fantasy, fun website. I've referred a lot of people. Everyone enjoys it, and we win more than we lose. So that's as long as you're making money on the sites you're playing on. I think that's the most important part. So that's what I got for today, guys. Appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video. I hope I was able to bring some value. Don't forget, smash that like button and subscribe to our channel. It helps us out, and you guys will get notified the second we upload videos, and then you can get the numbers as you see in the video, and hopefully they're not higher or lower when you actually get there. All right, guys, that's it. See you guys for our official week 4 video for NFL. Later. No, don't cancel.